Hello, my friend. Welcome to my All Farmers channel, which is for all American farmers. Have you ever wondered about the unique challenges and rewards of raising livestock in the vast Australian outback? Today, we'll delve into the fascinating world of Australian goat farming, where farmers raise millions of goats for meat, milk, and fiber. Join us as we explore the rugged beauty of Australian landscapes, the hardy breeds of goats adapted to these conditions, and the sustainable practices employed by Australian farmers. Let's uncover the secrets behind Australia's thriving goat industry. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to receive the next fascinating videos from the world of farming from all farmers. Australia, although a minor global producer of goat meat, plays an outsized role in the international market as the world's leading exporter. Despite producing just 0.4% of the global supply, Australia accounts for over a third of all goat meat exports. In 2023, the country produced 0.917 million of goat meat, the majority of which was shipped to key markets such as the United States, South Korea, and Taiwan. Notably, nearly two-thirds of the meat exported was sent to the U.S., where there is strong demand, particularly among the Latino population, who traditionally consume goat meat. This robust export market alone brought in approximately 90 million Australian dollars in revenue, showcasing the vital economic role that goat farming plays in the country. As global demand for goat meat continues to rise, Australia's dominant position in exports is expected to remain central to the world's goat meat trade. The foundation of Australia's goat farming industry lies in its large feral goat population, which is estimated to number around 2.3 million. This population is in stark contrast to the global figure of 1 billion goats slaughtered annually. A significant portion of Australia's goat population, over 1 million animals, is sent to slaughter each year, primarily to meet international demand. However, despite this extensive production, domestic consumption of goat meat remains relatively low. Approximately 80% of the meat produced is exported, and the lack of familiarity with how to prepare and cook goat meat has been cited as a major reason for the low local demand. Goat meat's unfamiliarity in Australian kitchens, compared to more popular meats like lamb and beef, contributes to its lower uptake in domestic markets, despite its nutritional benefits and unique flavor profile. Nevertheless, the goat meat industry has proven to be highly lucrative for Australian farmers. The price of goat meat has risen steadily in recent years, with a record high value of $8.50 per kilogram in 2023, surpassing both beef and lamb prices. This upward trend is expected to continue in the coming years, making goat farming an increasingly attractive option for Australian farmers looking to diversify and capitalize on the global demand for goat meat. The increasing price reflects both the higher value of goat meat and its rising popularity in international markets. The adaptability of goats to Australia's harsh and diverse climates, especially in regions like Victoria and Queensland, further enhances their viability as a key agricultural asset. These goats are well suited to Australia's arid and semi-arid landscapes, where other livestock might struggle. Their resilience and low-maintenance needs make them a suitable choice for farmers in regions with challenging conditions, ensuring the growth and sustainability of Australia's goat farming industry as global demand continues to climb. Australia's goat farming operations are mostly concentrated in the southern rangelands, with about 95% of production occurring in this region, particularly in western New South Wales. The rangelands are known for their low, erratic rainfall, arid soil, and lack of arable farming. but these conditions are ideal for the rangeland goat breed. Originally from Europe, these goats have evolved to thrive in Australia's harsh environments. The feral goat population has grown rapidly since the first goats brought to the mainland by early settlers escaped into the wild. Today, these goats are rounded up by farmers and sent to slaughter with minimal management. Goat farming in Australia is an attractive and highly profitable venture for many farmers due to the relatively low overhead costs associated with raising goats. One of the key advantages of goat farming is the animal's resilience and ability to reproduce even in harsh conditions, such as dry climates. Goats are known for their high fertility rates and often give birth to twins or triplets, helping to sustain and grow the population without requiring extensive management. Once the goats are captured, they require minimal care and feeding, which significantly reduces the cost and labor involved in their upkeep. Advancements in farming practices, such as improved breeding techniques, have also led to better meat quality, greater consistency, and higher carcass weights, making the production process more efficient and profitable for farmers. Another major benefit of goat farming is its relatively low startup cost compared to other forms of livestock farming. Goats are naturally resistant to a variety of diseases, which reduces the need for expensive veterinary care and interventions. Additionally, unlike sheep, goats do not need to be sheared, which cuts down on labor and maintenance costs. Goats are also adaptable in terms of their diet, as they can eat a wide range of plants, including shrubs and trees, making them less dependent on specific types of feed. This diversity in their diet helps protect farmers from fluctuations in feed prices, which can be a significant financial strain in other livestock industries. Moreover, goat meat is priced uniformly across the market, regardless of the age or sex of the animal. This contrasts with other livestock, like sheep, which face price penalties based on factors such as weight and age at slaughter, giving goat farmers a more predictable and stable pricing structure. Setting up the necessary infrastructure for goat farming is a considerable challenge for many Australian farmers, with the cost of installing high-quality fences being one of the main expenses. Goats are notorious escape artists, capable of jumping over or squeezing under conventional fencing, which means farmers must invest in strong, high barbed wire enclosures to keep them contained. These fences can be quite expensive to build, but they are essential to ensure the goats do not roam freely, which could lead to them damaging neighboring properties or getting lost. Beyond their tendency to escape, goats are also more destructive to the environment than other livestock due to their unique eating habits. Unlike cows and sheep, goats are both grazers and browsers, meaning they eat a wider variety of plants, including shrubs and tree foliage. This habit can lead to overgrazing and damage to fragile ecosystems, contributing to biodiversity loss and degradation of grasslands. To mitigate this issue, many farmers adopt rotational grazing practices, moving their herds from one field to another to allow pastures time to regenerate and recover between grazing periods. This helps prevent long-term environmental damage while maintaining the health of the land and the goats. The vast majority of the goat meat produced in Australia is intended for export, with nearly 99% of it being shipped overseas as frozen whole carcasses. This high level of export reliance underscores the global demand for Australian goat meat, with major markets like the United States, South Korea, and Taiwan being key destinations. In recognition of the significant contribution goat farming makes to the Australian economy, both the state and federal governments have invested substantial resources into supporting the industry's growth and sustainability. The Australian government has partnered with the University of Queensland and Meat and Livestock Australia on a $3.7 million research project aimed at improving various aspects of goat farming, from reproduction and growth rates to animal welfare and overall production efficiency. Meanwhile, the New South Wales government has committed $1.2 million to modernize the sector, focusing on biosecurity, improved farming practices, and the development of better grazing management systems. These investments are designed to strengthen the goat farming industry, making it more efficient, sustainable, and capable of meeting the increasing demand for goat meat on the global market. Despite the promising outlook, the Australian goat farming industry faces several challenges, many of which are closely tied to climate conditions. Australia is prone to extreme weather patterns, particularly droughts, which have impacted goat production in the past. These weather fluctuations lead to variability in herd numbers, and while herds have been able to rebound when more favorable conditions return, the sector remains highly volatile. The unpredictability of rainfall and temperature means that goat farmers often face periods of boom and bust. However, industry leaders remain optimistic that with continued investment and the standardization of farming practices, the production process can be better stabilized, allowing farmers to better navigate these seasonal changes and reduce the financial uncertainty they face. Another significant hurdle for the industry is the low domestic consumption of goat meat. While Australia is one of the world's largest producers and exporters, local demand remains relatively weak. The country's strong preference for lamb, Australians consume the second largest amount of lamb per capita globally, just behind Kazakhstan, further compounds the challenge. Part of the problem lies in the negative connotations surrounding the term feral goats, which many associate with wild, unmanaged herds. To combat this, the goat meat industry has been rebranding the animals as free-roaming rangeland goats, emphasizing their natural lifestyle and appeal. However, even though goat meat is a lean, highly nutritious protein source, its distinct flavor and the specific cooking techniques required, slow cooking to prevent toughness, are unfamiliar to many Australians. This makes goat meat a less approachable alternative to the more commonly barbecued lamb. Despite these barriers, the demand for goat meat in Australia is slowly rising, particularly in niche markets and among adventurous consumers willing to try exotic meats. Butchers across the country have reported an uptick in sales as more Australians begin to experiment with different cuts of goat meat, encouraged by the growing interest in international and multicultural cuisine. Additionally, while goat's milk and cheese are becoming more popular, goat meat has yet to reach the same level of mainstream acceptance. However, as consumer perceptions shift and people become more aware of how to properly cook goat meat, it's possible that it could become a seasonal staple in Australian homes, akin to lamb in the spring. As education about cooking techniques spreads and interest in healthier, leaner meat options grows, the future for goat meat in Australia looks brighter, with potential for further domestic growth. In conclusion, despite the challenges faced by Australian goat farming, such as fluctuating climate conditions and low domestic demand, the industry remains a highly profitable and vital component of both the national and global agricultural sectors. Australia's dominance in goat meat exports, driven by strong international demand, particularly in markets like the United States and South Korea, highlights the significant role it plays in the global supply chain. The industry's resilience, coupled with ongoing investments in research, infrastructure, and modernization, ensures that goat farming will continue to grow and evolve. As consumer preferences shift and more Australians embrace goat meat, both for its nutritional benefits and unique flavor, the future of the Australian goat meat industry looks increasingly promising, with potential for expanded domestic consumption and even greater success on the international stage. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.